Hi there, and welcome to the latest version of my tutorial on carrying out network analysis tasks using the OpenRouteService plugin in QGIS, otherwise known as ORS Tools, previously known as OSM Tools. So I'm updating this again because there's been a few updates to the plugin since my last version, and also the audio on the previous version wasn't great, so hopefully this one will be a little bit better. So to start from the beginning, once again, I've set up a map here. I've just dropped in an OpenStreetMap background layer using the XYZ tile layers in QGIS. And the first thing we need if we're going to carry out any kind of route analysis is a point layer. So generally speaking, if we're carrying out network analysis, we have points to represent the start and end points of our route. And also if we're looking at areas, for example, say you want to carry out an analysis of accessibility to green spaces, so you're looking at parks, then what we'd actually need to map are the access points to those areas, so any entrances and exits to the parks, which we could then use to carry out that network analysis. So in my case, I've created 3 points within the depots layer here. So I'm going to use those as the basis of my network analysis. So the next thing we need to do is to actually install the OpenRouteService plugin. So if we go up to plugins, manage and install plugins, and if you make sure you're on all and type in ORS, then we should see here ORS Tools. So as I said, this was previously called OSM Tools, but it's been updated to ORS Tools for a while now. We're currently on version 1.2, which is the latest as of me making this video. So we'll hit install. It should only take a few seconds. And once it's installed, then that will appear under the web menu at the top here. So if we click on web, ORS Tools, and then open up the ORS Tools plugin. Now, in order to make full use of ORS Tools, we do need to have an API key for the OpenRouteService. And handily, they've given us a link to go and do this. So we can click sign up at the top here, and that will take you straight through to sign up for the OpenRouteService. Now, I've already done this. So once you've gone through the sign up process, you should end up at this screen here. You might not have the token quota bit down the bottom here showing initially. And the next thing you'll need to do is to create a token, which then gives you your API key. So your token type will be free. Token name doesn't really matter, so you can type in anything you want. I originally created this for doing some green space mapping, so mine's called green space map. And then once you click create token, you will then see a line appear up here, like in my example, and then if you simply click here, it will automatically copy your API key to the clipboard. We can then minimize this, go back to the ORS Tools plugin, and if we click on the little settings icon over here, then we can use Control and V to paste in our API key. Okay. And we're now ready to start some analysis. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to simply select a couple of points on the map and create a route between them. So to do that, we just click the plus sign here. It takes us to this interactive mapper. Left click to create your first point. Now we can have multiple points on here, so we'll click to do a second point. And let's go with the third point over here. And when we want to finish, then we simply double click on the last point, and we can see we now have our points listed up here. So the simplest thing we can do, just to note the options here, so we can choose the method of travel that we want to use when calculating the route. So I'm just going to go with cycling. We can also choose whether we want the fastest route or the shortest route, so I'm going to go with fastest. Click apply, and within a couple of seconds it adds a route. So it's not that clear when it first goes in. I'm going to use this nice bright layer here, And there we go, we've now got the fastest route taking us between our 4 points. So if I come back into the plugin, it's also worth noting the advanced configuration options down the bottom here. So this allows us to do things like traveling salesman. So rather than going between those points in order, it will kind of optimize the most efficient route to get between the points that you've given it. So by default, it will go from point 0 to point 1 to point 2 to point 3. Traveling salesman, you might go point 0, point 3, point 1, point 2 if that's the most efficient option. You can also choose whether it optimizes the start and end. So if you've got 10 points, the start and end points may be fixed, or you can make those flexible. We can choose to avoid highways, tollways, ferries, fords and steps. You can avoid specific countries. So if you're looking at creating international routes, you want to avoid any countries that might be awkward, you can add those options in there. And finally, the one method that I am just going to demonstrate is we can avoid polygons. So this could be useful if you're trying to create alternative routes for, say, an event. You've got roads closed off within a particular area, so you want to avoid those locations. I've created this barrier layer, which simply blocks off a small section of the centre of Manchester. So if we were having some kind of festival, we could tick avoid polygons, select the barrier layer, click apply, and we should see we now have a new route which avoids that polygon area. So I can now take off my original route. You can see the second half is basically the same, but the first half has been adjusted to avoid that barrier. So they're the first set of tools if we want to interactively select our route points on the map. But obviously a lot of the time we're probably going to want to carry out analysis with layers that we already have. So point layers identifying start and end points of whatever locations we're interested in calculating routes between. So if we want to do that, then we go over to batch jobs over here. So again, we can get directions. We can use a polyline layer. We can have 2-point layers where one layer represents start points, one represents end points. I'm just going to demonstrate using 1-point layer. So this will just generate a route between the 3 points that I've created. So we've already got OpenRouteService as our provider. Inputs is going to be my depots layer that I showed you with the 3 points. I have a default ID field, and let's go with walking. So fastest. Again, you have the choice of whether you want it to optimize the waypoint order or not. In this case, it will always keep first and last in order, but can rearrange the points in between. I'm just going to leave that unticked because I've only got 3 points, so it won't make any difference. And obviously you can set where you want your output to save, so I'm just going to leave this as a temporary layer for now. Click run, and again, within a few seconds, we now have the route layer that takes us between my 3 points. And if we open the attribute table, we can see it also gives us the distance of that route in kilometers, duration in hours, and just reminds us of the options that we chose. So foot walking, fastest route. But obviously calculating routes isn't the only type of analysis that we can carry out using the ORSTools plugin. So if we come back, we can also calculate isochrones. So isochrones are polygons showing where we can travel within a certain amount of time or certain distance. So again, we can pick our start points from the map, but I'm going to use my point layer again. So I'm going to do isochrones from layer. Once again, using my depots, we can choose to just use selected features if we've got a large point layer and have selected just a handful of those. I'm going to go with road cycling as my travel mode this time. So you can see here we have the choice of doing it by time or distance. So I'm going to go with time and go 5, 10 and 15. So what this will now do is create polygons showing where I can cycle to within 5, 10 and 15 minutes from each of my 3 points. Once again, I'm leaving this as just a temporary layer, but you can set it to save a file if you want to. Hit run. And voila, within just a few seconds, we now have 5, 10 and 15 minute isochrones around each of our 3 points. Obviously, if you've got a much larger layer, it will take a bit longer, but we can potentially do this for dozens of different points to identify delivery areas, or to identify, as I said, gaps in provision. Have we got any areas that are more than 30 minutes from a hospital, more than 15 minutes walk from a green space? So all of those kind of analysis tasks we can carry out in this way. And then just to show you the final option that it has, if we go back once more, the final option we have is to produce a travel time matrix. So this doesn't actually add any layers to the map, but it will produce a table that shows distances and times between each of our points. So again, I'm going to use my depots layer, ID field, and we can have a different endpoint layer, but we can simply choose the same layer again to calculate travel times and distances between the points within that layer. And this time I'm just going to leave it as driving car. Once again, leave it as a temporary layer. Click run. And as I said, nothing gets added to the map, but we have this matrix layer here, which we can save as a table. We could open in Excel or R or whatever we want to use to analyze it with. And if we look in the attributes table here, we can see it's simply calculated from point 1 to point 1. It's 0 because it's the same. From point 2 to point 3 takes 0.2 hours, 8 kilometers. Point 2 to point 1 takes similarly 0.2 hours, almost 10 kilometers, 0.25. And so on. So it's useful if you want to create a table of travel times and distances, things like bus timetables potentially, or just simply giving people a guide of the amount of time it will take to travel between a set of different locations. So there we go, very quick, very simple, but also very powerful. Setting up your own network takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, and actually the OpenRouteService network is pretty reliable, certainly as free services go. So I hope you found that useful. If you did, please do like and subscribe to the channel and check out my other videos. Thanks.